Do you think you can change your gender?
Physically, yeah.
No, I guess of course you can change your gender.
That doesn't mean that people are always going to respect you.
What you're born as is what you're born as.
If you can change your gender, can you change your race?
No,
Why?
because that's just how you're born.
Isn't your gender how you're also just born?
Yeah, I see where you're getting with, but right now we do have surgeries available to change gender. We don't have that for race yet.
What about Michael Jackson? What about him?
So maybe in the future that could be something.
What's really interesting about that, you guys, is she's saying, okay, maybe in the future that could be something. Because there's not surgical procedures, that's why, right? And I think a lot of these people are they're just throwing excuses out there because it's like, okay, well, if you can change your gender, you're saying you can change your gender, you're saying you can't change your race. Why? You could do what Michael Jackson did. What about him? It's really interesting whenever it comes down to this conversation. There was that meme going around saying, okay, well, if genitals do not define your gender, how does removing them affirm it? The entire thing is points just canceling each other out because the entire ideology does not make sense. Let's see what this chick has to say.
No, you can't change your race. I feel like one is actually a stagnant part of identity, and the other one, like, is serious, but it's in a different form. It's not the same concept. Race is your roots, where you were born with from, ages ago.
We're hearing a lot of that. It's what you're born with. You can't change that. Sounds kind of bigoted. I don't know.
So I think
Isn't your gender what you're born with too?
that's true, but I think it's a different,
If you can change your gender, can you change your race?
You cannot change your race. That's a whole different topic.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Fantastic question. This is his name, Malik. Fantastic follow-up question from Malik right there. Not letting them get away with it. Okay, well, aren't you born this way? Like, what are you talking about? I would love to hear more about why they believe there's a serious difference between changing your gender and changing your race. Why can you do one and not the other?
Why not?
Because I think there's a bit more history behind, if you're black or if you're, in general, a person of color, there's more history behind skin color than there's behind gender, I think.
your race isn't your option, but your gender is.
If you can change your gender, can you change your race?
I don't think so, no.
Why?
Because, that doesn't make sense.
They're being so bigoted. How dare they have this position? It's funny. It sounds like just your everyday person 5 to 10 years ago about gender. That's what they sound like. Pre-radical gender theory ideology sweeping the nation. That's what they sound like. Because there's not a belief system there. There's not a belief system. There's not a major movement to say, not yet, to say that, yes, you can change your race. Because as soon as there is, they'll ditch reality and adopt that ideology.